Good afternoon, everyone. The Shreveport City Council meeting is now called to order. I'm going to ask Councilman Talaferro to lead us in the invocation. I'll ask Councilman Butcher to lead us in the pledge.
Graciously, Father, we come to you humble, we come to you as servants, we come to you as sinners. Lord, bless us, bless the people that we serve, bless this administration, and let us be mindful that all is about you and your kingdom. In your name we pray, amen.
Amen.
If you would face the flag and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Taylor.
Present.
Councilman Brooks.
Here.
Councilman Talaferro.
Here.
Councilman Butcher.
Here.
Councilman Jackson. Councilman Green.
I'm here.
And Councilwoman Bowman.
Present.
Councilman Jackson will be about 15 minutes late coming in, but he'll be here. Tomorrow, I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the administrative conference Monday, September 22nd, 2025, and the City Council meeting Tuesday, September 23rd, 2025. We have a number of guests today that will be speaking, and the council has a pretty lengthy agenda on today, so we're going to try to move through this expeditiously, but I do want to tell everyone with the presentations, still just stick to the pertinent information that you need for us to hear and what you need for the public to know, okay? So does any council member have any awards, recognitions, or distinguished guests not to exceed 15 minutes? And I believe the first that we were looking for was for Chief Smith. Is he here? Okay. And so next we'll move on to Councilman Butcher. Would you please introduce your guest?
Is Chief Smith on his way?
Yes, sir.
Because I need him for the next one as well, so
So we'll move on to the next one.
yes, move on to the next one.
Is Tommy Mazzone here from 911? Is there any way that we can find out where Mr. Mazzone is? Because I need to give the public an update on the 911 system. So Jim, you're next.
I think my people are here.
Oh, praise the Lord.
It gives me great pleasure to bring Mr. Keith Carter to the podium. Keith is a businessman in Shreveport and now is the sole and proud owner of the Louisiana Rougarou, which is an indoor arena football league or football team. I've been a supporter of Keith and his endeavors, and I love arena football. So we had a great season last year. Obviously, there's been some changes, and it's morphed into something bigger, better, greater, and I wanted Keith to kind of just bring forth the information that he has about his new enterprise. Keith?
Thank you, Councilman Talaferro. We've got some packets we're going to pass out there. We've got each name on this. That's okay?
Hey, that would be fine. Welcome to the Shreveport City Council meeting.
Thank you. My name is Keith Carter. I live here in Shreveport, and I've been in healthcare for 30-something years and own Always Best Care Senior Services here in Shreveport on Line Avenue, and became an investor in the Shreveport Rougarou last year and had the opportunity to take over the franchise this year. We have 9 teams in the National Arena League, and we were able to secure our location at Brookshire's Arena to even have more fans and more access. So we have 7 home games scheduled for the spring of 2026. And as my first public outing, I wanted to come in respect to the City Council Work Group, Mr. Talaferro, and the City Council, the Mayor, to offer a nonprofit City Council, even the school board package for where we could put 50 tickets in the hands of a nonprofit at a very reduced rate for children, families, teenagers, high school. But we wanted our Unity in the Community project to put thousands of people at Brookshire's Arena for 7 Saturday nights and wrap this community around professional athletes, arena football, 4 hours of good family, faith-based fun with 25 professional athletes on 8-on-8 football in our arena, 100 yards into Bossier. And someone told me that I could use this, so it's not copyrighted. The river connects us; it doesn't divide us. So we're all in this together, and I've put this package together, and I just wanted to share that with you and take a little time to tell you thank you for everything that you've done, and I really appreciate it, support each of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thanks,
so
Keith.
much.
Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank you.
Keith,
Yes, sir.
um,
Sorry. Yes, sir.
I'd just like to say congratulations, and I've heard a lot about it. Are y'all still looking for players?
Yes, sir, we are. We've actually signed around 6 players. Our tryouts are October 18th, so we are, Pastor Green, we are taking applications. If you would like to get to our tryout October 18th at D1,
Yeah.
we'd love to see you there.
I need one of your cards. Is there an age limit?
There is not an age limit. You have to be
All
out of college, so you're 21 to 32 is kind of the main thing.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
you're right there on the cusp
You
of
just
it.
missed
Just on the cusp
You
of
just missed it.
it.
Okay.
We'll have 3 tryouts, and we're going to have some open practices. And again, this package is available for nonprofits, churches, Cattle Parish School Board, the city council, and everything that you guys do. And if you would, and my card is in your packet, if you'd ever like to come to a game, we'll have a Rougarou field suite for dignitaries, and you're welcome to come.
All right, Keith.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you so much.
Thank you.
Councilman Calafaro. Next guest.
Yeah, Father Paul's not here, so.
Okay.
Since we're waiting on the chief, just real quick, if Mr. Morgan and Mr. Sepulveda here by chance, and Terrence, Mr. Green. This is off script, but since we got a little time, I figure might as well.
Correct.
So I think I've talked to both of y'all about the Sheridan, Piermont, or whatever it's called now. Have we had any contact? I think Mike had told me that he had reached out. Have we had any contacts with the owners at all?
No contact with the owners, but we have been talking to the contractor that they have left out there. And we asked them about the grass cutting. We did address that, and they were supposed to get to it Wednesday, this week sometime. So we just discussed that in the meeting, and we'll follow up with Wednesday, after Wednesday, and we'll start the siting process.
Is there anything, Mr. City Attorney, that we can do over and above what we've done since we've asked them? And
Okay.
I mean, is there anything else that we can do? Because I don't want this to turn into what we've had to deal with in the past in other areas of town.
We've already cited it.
Okay,
Right, so,
go ahead.
yeah, the next step would be to cite them through the property standards process, which is something that I know has already begun, and follow through like we would with any other vacant property, and that process has begun.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate y'all.
Madam Chair, just one quick question. Gentlemen, if you can just stay where you are, and Attorney Edwards.
Pull your
is-
mic down.
I'm sorry. Is there, going forward, is there any kind of mechanism, and I spoke with Terrence about it, is there any kind of mechanism going forward that the city can actually protect itself from situations like this arising? In other words, someone just doesn't fulfill a contract and leaves a partially constructed building that is going to be now an eyesore. I drove by, and I was telling Terrence, I drove by today, and I see a big crack in between S and P in Spring Hill. So, I mean, it's already started looking like it's dilapidated. And is there anything that we can do to kind of prevent ourselves going into the future on future developments to make the developers more responsible? I mean, I don't know how else to explain it, but it seems like we're not necessarily holding the bag financially, but we are holding the bag as far as looking at blight.
Correct.
Now, just throwing it out there. You don't have to answer. I mean, you don't have to have an answer right now. So.
Not really. The answer is not really. It's private property, and certainly not as a prophylactic measure, certainly not on the front end. There are some things that you can do once the condition exists, once the hazardous or nuisance or blighted or dilapidated condition exists. But certainly not on the front end. There's not much that can be done to ensure that private property does not reach some ultimate poor state.
Understand. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay. While we're waiting on the chief to arrive, Sheriff, you're just going to have to sit here with us for a few more minutes. Okay. Mayor Arsenault, do you have any awards, recognition, or distinguished guests not to exceed 15 minutes?
Madam Chair, I want to invite Dr. Sean Emerson Simmons to the podium. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Simmons is the South Central Regional Director of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. She and her team are currently in Shreveport to confirm sites for the upcoming South Central Regional Conference, which will take place March 25th through 29th of 2026. I had the pleasure to meet Dr. Simmons and her husband Philip earlier at the AKA Jazz Brunch. And they're bringing between 5,000 and 6,000 people to Shreveport that weekend. So she was in town. I thought it would be appropriate to hear a few words from her.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for that warm recognition. Madam Chairman, members of the Shreveport City Council, Mr. Mayor again, administration, and citizens of Shreveport and surrounding areas. As the mayor mentioned, I am Dr. Sean Simmons, the South Central Regional Director of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Our region covers Arkansas, New Mexico, Texas, and of course, my home state of Louisiana. It gives me great pleasure to officially announce that we will paint the city of Shreveport salmon pink and apple green as we host our 94th South Central Regional Conference, March 26th through 29th. Shreveport holds a special place in our hearts. It's the home of our 15th Regional Director, the late Dorothy S. Johnson, and our 22nd Regional Director, Mrs. Tari T. Bradford. We've graced your city before 2003, 2010, 2017, and we will return in 2026. So I thank you in advance for all your support. And Mr. Mayor, we appreciate your gracious invitation to return to the city. Madam Chair, our members will be staying in hotels located in your district. Councilman Brooks, the majority of our events will be held in your district. Councilman Green, will be flying in and out of your airport, the Shreveport Regional Airport. Madam Vice Chair Bowman, we also will be reviewing several hotel options off of I-20. And to council members Taliaferro, Butcher, and Jackson, we've heard that the best food in town is in your districts.
That's right.
Lies, they do tell.
That's right.
I will not argue.
I'd agree with
Lies,
that.
they do
I'd agree with
tell.
that.
So please let the restaurant owners, the boutiques, the mall, and of course the Uber drivers know that the ladies of Alpha Kappa Alpha are coming. Nearly 6,000 in number in terms of our delegation, and we have what we call social delegates who will come just to see what's going on. In other words, Mr. Mayor and council members, we will leave a meaningful and positive financial impact on this great city. We like to say we wear pink and spin green.
All right, then.
Lastly, Councilman Jackson, my husband, your frat brother, sends his regards. To Madam Vice Chair, please give your best to your husband, school board member, and former Councilman Jerry Bowman. Madam Chair, we look forward to seeing your daughter and Councilman Green.
My
Sister, thank you,
Oh, I was
sister.
like, tell
And
me
Councilman
something.
Green, we look forward to seeing your daughter at our conference. To each of you, we thank you again for welcoming us with open arms. We're very excited to bring the South Central Regional Conference back to Shreveport, and we are confident that it will be a conference to remember. Thank you very much.
Dr. Simmons, you know you can't do that when you just sent the charge out to those Kappas. Oh, you know
Look,
you can't go.
I'm a silhouette, and so these are the things that we have to do.
Councilman Jackson?
Dr. Simmons, there's something y'all say that has a unique pitch to it. Can I hear that?
I don't want to do it in the microphone because that may hurt
No,
some
send
people's
the pitch.
ears.
Send the pitch, send the
Send the
pitch.
pitch.
And I'm expecting something from the audience too.
That's our time.
Yes, Councilman Green.
Listen, thank you for the shout out. And I knew you were coming today. That's why I wore my pink socks. Tori was trying to wonder why I had
I love it.
pink socks on.
I love
have
it.
them on today. Yeah, thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. My
Councilman Green.
sister is actually very excited. She's also chose a couple of things that she wants me to purchase, like she really is my daughter.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so welcome to Shreveport.
Thank you very
so
much. Thank you very much, Madam Chairman. Thank you.
Mayor Arsenault, do you have any other guests?
Madam Chair, I know that Sam Walters is here from Delta Utilities.
Okay.
To speak briefly about theirs, and it's up to y'all whether you want to take him now or
Yes.
during comments.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Mayor Arsenault, Madam Chairwoman, honorable council members. Thank you for your valuable time this afternoon. Again, my name is Sam Walters. I'm with Delta Utilities. I'm the Director of Program Management and Construction, and I have with me Robert Westfall. He's the Director of Operations for Delta Utilities here for our North Louisiana operations. We both work out of the Shreveport office here. We're both proud to call the Arklatex our home. Shreveport Gas, Electric Light, and Power Company bought the gas distribution system in Shreveport in 1889. So Delta is a new name, but the service has been around for over 136 years, according to our records. The names have changed. Y'all remember Arkla. It was recently CenterPoint Energy. And as of April 1st of 2025, Delta Utilities purchased the Louisiana and Mississippi gas distribution assets from CenterPoint Energy. All the employees that operate the systems came with the transaction, so it's the same people that serve the area. So we're proud of that. Also, it's headquartered in New Orleans, Louisiana, so we were pleased to see, the company headquartered in Louisiana. And Delta is committed to drive the economic development and job growth for the state of Louisiana, and we're proud to be community partners. One of our core values is community involvement, so we're always happy and pleased to be engaged with our communities. And so before your consideration today is a franchise agreement with the city of Shreveport. We currently have a franchise agreement that expires December 31st of this year. That franchise was acquired by CenterPoint Energy and transferred to Delta Utilities. And so for your consideration is a new franchise agreement between Delta Utilities North Louisiana Gas and the city of Shreveport. And if voted, approved, ratified, it will go into effect January 1st of 2026. Just real high level, a couple of things of note. Typical construction type clauses in this franchise agreement. It just allows for our construction and operation and maintenance of our natural gas distribution facilities inside the city of Shreveport public right of way. Of course, all restoration will bear the cost of all the restoration of anything that we construct. Within a reasonable length of time, we'll restore it. We'll provide appropriate records upon request to the city. We also will provide notification to the city through the existing permitting process whenever we are about to excavate in the right-of-way. The payment, 4.5% of gross receipts of gas sales, stays the same as the previous franchise agreement, and those payments are made on quarterly terms. And so again, I just want to keep it high level, and I'll just stop and pause and see if there's any general questions that I might could answer at this time.
The council member has any questions?
This is up for, we vote on this in 2 weeks, correct? Yes. I'm sure between now and then, I'll have a few questions, but
Certainly.
right now I don't.
Okay.
I also want to provide them the opportunity to meet with any council members. So if you have any questions, then you will be able to meet with them. You can arrange to meet them in the council office on the 4th floor. So any council members that want to do that, then they will be available for you to meet before we have the next meeting.
Yep, be happy to meet with you all.
Okay, thank you all so much.
Very good.
Thank you all.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Okay, Mayor Arsenault, Do you have any communications of the mayor relative to city business other than awards, recognition of distinguished guests?
Just to make sure that all of you had been aware that we have received a $10,000 grant for the airport from Keep
congratulations.
Louisiana Beautiful.
Congrats.
That would be,
Tulips.
that would
You
be
get
a
some tulips?
quick
Y'all have tulips?
some tulips?
You have some tulips?
That's one of those that will require some council action, but I wanted to let you know that we've been awarded the grant.
I'm sure he's gonna vote for those tulips.
Yeah, we gonna get some tulips now.
Tiptoeing through those.
Okay. Thank you. I see
That-
Chief.
That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Thank you, sir. See Chief Smith, you have been wanted, sir, to come on down to the podium. So, Councilman Butcher, you allow James to ask him the questions first, and then.
Then we'll bring the sheriff up. Okay, perfect.
Thank you. Well, Chief, first of all, we'd like to thank you all for coming out to the God's Country Festival on Saturday with that command bus at the church. It was in Councilwoman Bowman's district, but it was at the ranch, and certainly that is, I mean, it is something to be proud of.
It was a great event. I had a great time, and we are always happy to showcase the readiness of the Shreveport Police Department to our community. So thank you for the invite.
And the next thing, Chief, y'all job is to protect and to serve. So let me just ask you, for an instance, you're undercover officers, and y'all do some of everything. What's the dress code for them?
For undercover,
Yes, sir.
they address appropriately for the mission that they are endeavoring to accomplish. So
So if they need, if they going in the area, whatever, if they need long hair, if they need this, if
Yes,
they
sir.
need that, then that's what they gotta do to accomplish what you all are accomplishing, right?
absolutely, absolutely.
So, I mean, say for an instance, an officer, how is it, do they shoot better if they dress like you, or does it matter how they dress?
Doesn't matter. We all qualify the same, no matter, what your assignment is. We all qualify the same. We all get the same schooling, the same learning process. You have to dress to ensure the best chance of accomplishing your mission. I've been there, and I'm telling you what I know from experience, and it makes a difference.
Okay. So I'd heard some rumors of conversations about ponytails, about whatever, and to me, that has nothing to do with protect and to serve. And you all are doing a great job of protecting this city. Y'all go over and under, and I just want to commend you all.
Thank you, sir.
It's like, what should a councilman have a beard? Should he wear a suit? Should he wear a tie? Can he wear jogging stuff? I mean, there are no rules, and I just think that you all are doing a great job. It's kind of like when the incident happened in Councilwoman Taylor's district where the young person got killed at the smoke shop or whatever, vapor shop. If you had a camera up there, then I think to catch that individual, it would have been faster.
That's correct.
But because we decided that you needed to move it and go somewhere else when you all know more about operations than I could dream of. The only person up here that has the expertise as to y'all have is Councilman Teleferro, and I commend him that when he was on the force, the people that I hear in the community talk about him, because in my district, I mean, tons of people know him, and they talk about what type of officer he was, that he did a great job. He's the only one up here with us that could say, that's been in the shoes, that could actually say to us that this is how it go and that's how it go. But I never hear him trying to tell you all how to do your job, and I'd like to commend him on that. But I just wanted to just throw it out there parenthetically that I just think that we ought to let you all be the police, whatever it takes to get your job done. I just think that we ought to allow you to do it. And that's all I have, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Councilman Teleferro, by some. It said some of the father of some of our community engagement programs, like you remember the auxiliary, the Citizens Police Academy, and I can just go on and on and on. And thank you so much for your wisdom over the years to help get something started long time ago that is thriving and well.
Because Miss Small act like he's her councilman still. Okay, I just wanted to throw that out.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Chief.
Don't move, Councilman Butcher.
Thank you, Chair. I'd like to introduce Sheriff Jason Richardson from the DeSoto Parish Sheriff's Office, and I'll give you a little bit background while he's coming up. Several years.
Before you get that, I want you to know that his deputies attend my police academy.
I know that.
They get
I
the
know
best
that.
training there is.
So we work very closely with the sheriff's offices all in the region. I know that y'all do a lot, and but this was a discussion that I had several years ago with Sheriff Richardson about. He's really the only law enforcement official in Northwest Louisiana that has access to a helicopter, and as the conversation grew over time, he is in the process right now of getting a new helicopter that will be something that I think will benefit the city of Shreveport. So I think the chief and the sheriff have been talking. I've talked to every council member about it, but I wanted to just kind of bring them up. And Sheriff, tell us a little bit about what's about to happen.
Sure. So this isn't our first endeavor into aircraft. We've had a flight program for approximately 10 years at first it was volunteer and part-time pilots. A few years ago we started with a full-time pilot, but we were not full-time because you have to have at least 2 pilots to do a full-time situation. And so over the last several years we've been working with Louisiana State Police and their flight unit. We are in fact the only non-state police helicopter. There's only one helicopter really north of Lafayette, and that's the state police helicopter base in Alexandria. We are it for the whole north part of Louisiana. And so we're certainly willing to assist any agency that needs assistance. But to have an effective air unit, you have to, it can be expensive. I think that anybody that knows anything about aircraft knows that they're expensive. But we acquired a helicopter with the help of the governor and the state police, and it is currently being refitted. It's a more appropriate helicopter, a Jet Ranger 206 Bell, that's being upfitted specifically for our needs. It has the latest mapping technology, FLIR technology, and all of that available to it. So to make this unit affordable and usable and the most effective in the area, it takes us working together to make that happen. I will say, fortunately, we don't have the crime in DeSoto to justify a full-time unit. And I would even venture to say that the size of the city of Shreveport, that by yourselves, you probably would struggle to justify a full-time air unit. But collectively, we can justify that. And so that unit will be based out of Stonewall when it's in flight. And so that is about a 2.5-minute flight to where we're sitting right now. Wow. So that can be the response time. And I think that's imperative. But what we obviously have been talking about and working on is going into a cooperative endeavor where we share those expenses. Right now, we think that's capped at about $150,000 per agency. And so anything above and beyond that, it's our unit, so we would be responsible as we kind of work through that. But to have air support be able to respond to an officer in a pursuit, in a foot pursuit, in 2.5 to 3 minutes is something that we've never experienced in this area. And as I was talking to Councilman Talaferro, my bucket list check mark is the moment we're overhead in an active pursuit and the sky lights up. Because I know as a deputy, this is my 25th year in law enforcement, and so I know as a deputy what type of relief. It was relief just to hear that somebody else was close, but to know that the eye in the sky is overhead and what that does for morale, as well as I think it is a deterrent. Because where are you going? If you're somebody who's choosing to run, where are you going? It also has the ability to carry 5 passengers, so I probably could have got him here a little faster if he'd have called. But it has the ability to land if we have an officer involved in some sort of medical situation, that we can put that officer and go directly to LSU as well. So that's something that, we really don't think about when we have that available.
I guess that one of the big questions and what was so attractive to me about this, the cost of that helicopter is something that we probably can never budget for.
Correct.
And if we're helping to pay for the personnel or the pilot or maintenance or fuel or whatever, it makes sense to me because we don't have the ongoing cost of the maintenance of the helicopter or the 30-something% retirement we're going to end up having to pay the police officer. So the way y'all envision it, and I know y'all are just in very early preliminary stages of conversation here, will there be a DeSoto Parish Sheriff's deputy on the helicopter and then a pilot as well? Is that how it's going to work?
So we have 2 pilots. They're already hired. One started today. Another one starts on the 1st of November. And 2 tactical flight officers that runs all of that equipment, as well as maintains the radio communication. And we bought this new mapping system that we can basically work out GPS coordinates of all of our units so that we were talking earlier, the old days you had numbers on top of your car. Now you show up on a map. We know exactly what officer that is, and even the potential of that officer on foot. We know exactly where that officer is from the sky as well. So yes, they'll be
off of their radio transmission or
yes, sir,
something like that.
Yep. So we'll have 4 full-time employees assigned to that helicopter.
What do you foresee the hours to be of this, Chief? Have y'all talked any in depth about that?
We have not. Looking at our greatest need, the greatest potential for something happening, within our city, and those would be the times that I would request, specifically, other than the emergency where we need you to come, where the helicopter comes randomly and makes it passes across the city and let it be well known that the eyes are in the sky. And, that's one of the biggest differences between that helicopter and a drone. The drones are really covert. You don't know they're there, to be frankly honest. But I guarantee the helicopter was there. So prevention means a lot more to us, in terms of saving lives. We want to stop things from happening altogether.
I think I put this in, I was thinking about this the other night because myself and Councilman Brooks and I think Councilman Jackson all went to the horrible incident in Cedar Grove the other night. And, in some radio traffic that I heard in the videos, you could hear them say, we saw them running southbound, northbound, whatever, down whatever road. In that case, Sheriff Richardson could have had that helicopter from Stonewall to Cedar Grove in about a minute. I mean, from the time that the call came in, I would assume they'd be ready to go. But from Cedar Grove Park or A.B. Palmer Park to Stonewall, pretty quick.
Yeah, it's going to be quick. So what we envision is we are going to, obviously software is a big help these days. So we share CAD data and we determine daily what our specific need is, whether you're having armed robberies and they happen to be happening at 11 o'clock at night. So that is the main flight times of the helicopter. So our intention is if the weather permits, the helicopter will be in the air every day for at least 2 hours a day during those peak times. If we don't have anything going on or they don't get called, and one thing I want you to understand is what our intention is not to have somebody have to request them. So this is kind of an all-in thing. You don't need to have to call every time you need it. They should be monitoring the radio. That's what we want to do, is monitor that traffic. When we hear a situation that warrants the helicopter moving, is we're en route. By the time they realize, the officers on scene realize they would need a helicopter, they should be there already. And so that's what we envision. That is how our plan has been put together. That's how we decided our location on where the helicopter would best benefit everybody. As well as I think it's important to mention that we have we currently have a helicopter that we will have. I don't know that we're even going to get rid of it. It will likely stay as our backup helicopter so that we continue to have that 7-day-a-week coverage even during maintenance periods.
Well, I think it's a win-win for the city of Shreveport and for the region because it does put another helicopter up here. And, you know, I'm not, like what Councilman Green said, I'm not a law enforcement. But to me, I would think, especially with the incidents that we've had at Ford Park, with incidents that we've had downtown, it's not to necessarily scare people, but it's also, I think a lot of bad actors know that we're limited on officers. And when you've got something hovering around with a light shining on you, and I'm assuming it's going to have heat seeking too as well. So I mean, you have that. That is just a tool that I just don't think we can put a price tag on, and that you're willing to involve us in this is just great. And I told the chief, that's all I'm going to say about it. I told the chief that I wanted him to look into putting us a helipad at the south substation and one at the north substation up on North Market too, where if y'all are flying around, y'all can sit down and be seen where people can see y'all. So I appreciate you talking to me about it and involving me in it, and I'm glad that you took the time to come up here. But that's all the questions I have, and I look forward to looking more into it. I've talked to Mr. Dark about the budgeting. We need to look a little bit deeper into that, but I think the support is there. We just need to figure out a way to pay for it.
Councilman Talaferro.
Sheriff and Chief, I cannot tell you how much this endeavor means to me, having had the privilege of working with Los Angeles Sheriff's Office and San Diego Sheriff's Office, who ran the helicopters when I was policing in San Diego, is that this gives our officer an incredible edge, a hedge of protection, if you will, that you just can't match with a vehicle, a drone. And it is a psychological breath of relief when the spotlight hits you and you're on a traffic stop, or you're searching a canyon, you're searching anything, and the light shines upon you, and you're thinking, my God, someone is looking out for me. And you are sending a clear and concise message to the suspect that where you're going to run. And with the infrared, with body heat, there is nowhere to run. And so obviously the helicopter gives you the opportunity to direct ground forces, and I'm just very excited about this endeavor, and I'm just happy to support anything that we can do. I think this is a great collaborative effort. It's a long time coming. We've entertained this on the police department for a long time, only wishing that we could do something like this with the sheriff's office up here, and it just wasn't economically feasible because of maintenance. So thank you for doing what you're doing and keeping it alive, and we look forward to it. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Councilman Green.
Yes, I'd just like to say that will change the whole ball game, and thank you for being open and to do this as a partnership. I just think it's a great idea. It changes the whole ball game.
Thank you. And also, I just want to take this opportunity to acknowledge that I believe our working relationship that we have currently is the best that, and again, I've been at it 25 years, and our open line of communication between our agencies is the best that it's ever been. And this is going to enhance that, I would say fivefold, because there's a level of communication, sharing data that we're going to do, as we move forward with this, that we've never done. And so it's going to, we're kind of a suburb now. I can see from my road, I can see the tower in South Shreveport. So,
Sheriff, let me ask you one other question. I frequently go down to the music store down in
Cardinal
Stone. Yeah. Do y'all have radar on that helicopter?
We currently do operations with the Louisiana State Police from the helicopter here in Shreveport. So the chances are in time that we'll.
They've seen you.
Oh, LiDAR.
Leave me your card, I'll call you when I'm on. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You have anything? Okay. You have anything, Councilman Jackson? Sheriff Richardson, thank you so much, and I am appreciative of the relationship and the collaboration that we've had, because we've used you before in some of our activities that we had going on in the city of Shreveport, and I've always appreciated that public safety is extremely important to me and this council, and we want to equip our law enforcement agency with every tool that they need in their arsenal to effectively do their job. Because as I always say to them, that I want them to leave their house and then come back home safely while keeping us safe to the best of their ability. So the more equipment, the more technology that they have, the more formidable collaborations that we have means more eyes with what we see. And so I'm in full support of this as well.
I think
Because it means protecting our citizens.
one other thing, Madam Chair, before we end, that Sheriff Richardson just said, you know, I see his deputies sitting on top of Southern Loop quite a bit because
Oh, we all do.
they're just right there. You know, they're coming to turn around. So you're right. DeSoto Parish has become a very close suburb. You know, our city limits actually abut because the southern part of Southern Trace goes into DeSoto Parish just a little bit. So where the lake is, and I know y'all flew over and we had a helicopter crash and the lake down there ended up being on y'all's side. I mean, it just makes sense for this to happen, and I appreciate the leadership of the two of y'all for putting this together, and I look forward to, when do you think the helicopter will be up, the new helicopter? Because I've got a picture of it he sent me. I'll show it to y'all. It's pretty cool looking. When do you think it'll be up and running?
So we expect to take delivery sometime during the month of November. It'll give us time to make sure, there's always, because there's all new equipment in it. So we know there's going to be things to work out, but we expect to be operational with that helicopter by the first of the year.
Awesome.
Couple of years ago, we had a horrible incident to take place in the southern part of town off of Florida Lucas, where we needed the resources of everyone that we can get. DeSoto Parish, Bossier City, Fire Department, Caddo, and I'll have you to know that before many others could arrive with their resources, DeSoto Parish was there with their drones and their flight team to help us out and stayed with us throughout the incident and helped us mitigate this horrible homicide and house fire. So thank you all so much for that. When I saw his technology in the air, I had to have it. Had to have our own.
You got to get it.
Yes. And it worked out great. Thank you, sir, so much.
We do have a helipad in North Shreveport.
We'll have one on Monk House.
But we already
got
have
plenty.
one.
Yeah, y'all got
I
a
think
big
it's
one, I bet.
2 of them. You know. Thank you so much, Sheriff Richardson.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you all so much.
On Monk House, we got one.
I also want to welcome Michael Jackson into the chamber. I know y'all look at, baby, I bet he is alive. Michael Jackson of Delta Utilities, I think he's one of the vice presidents. Stand up so they don't think that it's beat it, you know, you get ready to do the moonwalk. He's not doing all of that, okay? Thank you so much for coming, sir. Does any member have any questions or concerns relative to property standards for Mr. Green?
Just following up on the Sheridan deal, Madam Chair, I called Mr. Green and Mr. Morgan and Mr. Sepulvedo, and within, I don't know, an hour or so, I was getting answers. So I appreciate y'all staying on top of it. And then the next morning, Mr. Green had gone and taken pictures and sent it to me and was already in the process of finding them or citing them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gray. I think I gave you a listing of things that we needed right before the meeting. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you. Mr. De Niro Washington.
Council.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Washington. I did want to acknowledge that I'm pretty sure the other council members have seen the new benches, the sports train benches. They look really nice in the city, and I just want to acknowledge you and your team. They look really good.
Thank you so much. We're working on the shelter project that started this week as well, so you'll start seeing about 400 new shelters going up as well.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Sir.
While you're here, just real quick, Walmart, Burt Coons and Yuri.
Got you taken care of as part of that shelter project.
Perfect. It'll be on the Walmart side, right?
On the Walmart side. So Councilman Brooks is getting his first because he's been in the list, and then we got Councilman Taylor Farrow, who's reached out as well about a bench location off of I think it's South Point.
Correct.
And so we got those all in place, and so we got the whole list of gamut of those that's been asked, and those are being placed out now.
Are you, Madam Chair, are you referring to Princess Park?
Princess Park, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you
Got
so
you taken
much.
care of.
Thank you so much, Mr.
Thank you.
Washington.
Thank you.
Mr. Clark, do you have a master plan committee report? Next. Okay, thank you, sir. Did everyone receive the budget to actual financial report? Okay, tomorrow we have a public hearing on Resolution 109 of 2025. Mr. Dark, would there be any legislation to be added?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, today we'll hear public comments on non-agenda and agenda items only. Madam Vice Chair will proceed. Please state your name and address when you approach the podium.
Mr. John Settle.
John Settle for Tealwood, that's in Mr. Brooks's district. I just wanted to remind you of the burgers for the badge, which is this Wednesday. A favorite judge of mine, you may know, Judge Merkel and I have contributed $500 to that effort, and we're going to be out there helping serve. They set up it from 10 to 11, and they're serving officers from 11 to 4 with a hamburger lunch package. I believe that's going to be the kind of goodbye to 1, 2, 3, 4 Texas. Is that right? And all law enforcement, police, and sheriff are invited. If you wanted to make a $10 donation, you can go to ShreveportCrimeStoppers.com, and they've got a drop down, and it's $10 a plate. And I think it's going to be a good thing. I'm looking forward to going, and I think Emily and I will be out there trying to help out. I just hope that Corporal Borderline, he's not cooking the burgers, is he? Oh, good. Well, good. Okay. It'll be a good time. Hope to see y'all there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Was it 11 o'clock?
11
The
o'clock,
service?
I'm sorry, so they serve, 10 to 11 is the prep.
Okay.
They're serving officers from 11 to 4.
Okay.
And that's in the parking lot.
It'll be on the hill, the knoll between Texas Street and the police building, where the big oak trees on that hill.
Okay, all right. And there'll be officers there directing traffic or something?
Absolutely, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Dave Hackney.
Good afternoon. My name's Dave Hackney. I live at 9660 Railsback Ridge, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106. Councilman Butcher is my city council representative. Item or resolution 128, or in the B section, there's a deal authorizing the mayor to execute a right-of-way servitude agreement with Red River Express LLC of Alabama for the survey, investigation, and construction of the roadway facility on city property, and to otherwise provide with respect thereto. So I don't know all the details, and this impacts my neighborhood of Esplanade and the adjacent neighborhood of 12 Oaks. A couple of my concerns are there's a CEA that Caddo Parish executed with Tim James, Red River Express. They revised it, and then Northwest Louisiana Financing Authority, which is part of the city of Shreveport, recently, a few months ago, they executed a CEA to help Tim James get a USDA loan. That effort, from my monitoring, has not progressed very fast. Northwest Louisiana Financing Authority actually rented some office space downtown, so they have a physical address to make the loan application. I think that was kind of putting the cart before the horse, because they haven't progressed it. But with regard to this, and Mr. Mayor, you executing this right away, and I want to say this as respectfully as I can, there might be a potential of conflict of interest. You were an attorney prior to becoming mayor. You are an attorney. And the people that would benefit on this right-of-way, you have represented legally in the past. Nothing wrong with that, but if you move forward with this, there might be. I don't know. That's why I'm just throwing it out there. And we just like that out in the open, that if the people that are going to benefit from this financially, Mr. James paid $500,000 to buy part of 5 or 6 residential lots in my neighborhood that he now wants to run the road across. If he's willing to pay $500,000 for 0.6 acres, what is he willing to pay the city for how many ever acres that is? Mr. James purchased a right-of-way on Frank's investment property, which the port now owns, and paid $25,000 an acre. So I don't think the city should be having a giveaway program for this. So, thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes, Councilman Butcher.
Mr. Hackney, thank you. And I got your email at the end of last week, and I'm just behind, but I do plan to respond to that. Just where you know, Mr. Hackney, I've had one meeting with Mr. James, and that was probably in the spring of last year. And there were several conditions that I told your homeowners association meeting that I wanted to be met prior to us getting to this point. And I've worked very closely with the city attorney. I have not, in Mayor Arsenault's defense, he has not called me, and we have had a very benign conversation about this. So he has not put pressure on me or anything. I don't want to say been driving the boat on this, but I've been working with the city attorney's office about this because there were several stipulations in this that I wanted. And in fact, as of last week, before we put this on the agenda, I wanted to make sure, and it goes back to what you're saying, that the appraisal is done by us, that we are the client of the appraiser, and we choose the appraiser. And Mr. James is going to have to pay whatever fair market value is. So I think we're, from my end and the city attorney's office, I feel like the council and the city attorney's office have really dotted all of our I's and crossed all of our T's, because I wanted to make sure before we even went down this road that there was plenty of input to the neighborhoods, especially 12 Oaks and Esplanade, because they're the ones that are going to be impacted. And I can tell you, after my first meeting with Mr. James, I told him about 5 different bullet points, and you know what my bullet points were that I wanted, and he's agreed to those. So this is just the first stage of us getting the right-of-way done, getting the survey done, getting the appraisal done, where we can kind of move from that point. But I will say that Mayor Arsenault has not even contacted me about this. We've, in the corridor, maybe said something about it, but that's just because he was at the meeting with me. But there's been, it is everything we're doing, we're going to make sure that when you see it, you're going to say we did everything we were supposed to do, because I know you're watching. Thank you.
Thank you.
Belinda Rose.
I want to say good afternoon. Belinda Rose, 810 East 70th Street. From great excitement to gloom, I wish I could stand up here and say that our National Night Out was a great success. Many residents in Cedar Grove are asking, how could the one day deemed to be the safest in the city be overshadowed by gunfire and a life taken, just feet away from a building that had seniors and children just enjoying games and food? The residents deserve answers and apologies. Leaving an area without safeguard when some officers knew of the Facebook post and the strong possibility of a disturbance. Not one street in Cedar Grove, to my understanding, near the park that was hosting a block party had an officer present at that time. And to add salt to the wound from the seniors that asked me to stand here. After all the chaos, a newsletter placed in the hands of shaken seniors was not appropriate. Are you okay? How may I help you all? Or just a gentle hug would have been well received. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mark Black.
Thank you. I'm Mark Black, 163 Ardmore, and Mr. Talifer is my counselor. I'm here today to speak against Ordinance 18 of 2025, and I know I'm a little bit late because I believe that passed back in April. But I've had a lot of time to marinate on it and to stew on it, and it really, I feel like I have to say something in order to kind of get it off my chest and get it off of my consciousness. First of all, the ordinance itself is very flawed. It makes it very easy to, be kicked out of your house. For example, if you have an absentee landlord who fails to keep the property, property standards can be applied to remove anyone regardless of whether or not they are actually at fault for being negligent toward the property or not being able to pay. A big example of this was this happened before, it happened last year, but an example of this happening to people was the Jolie Apartments over in Shreve Island, I believe, off of Barksdale Boulevard, or Shreveport Barksdale. Hundreds of people were thrown out of their houses, out of their homes, because the landlord failed to pay the rent, because the landlord failed to pay the water bill, because the landlord failed to pay the property taxes. It's very easy to imagine, given the wording of this ordinance, that it'd be very easy to be kicked out of your home if you could fail to pay for, as a homeowner, necessary repairs after a storm, such as the Straight Light storm that took power out for 2 weeks and demolished multiple houses in Broadmoor, Highland, and other neighborhoods. If you're, scraping by paycheck to paycheck, it's very easy to have your water turned off, even though there are some programs that help. Maybe the city acts too slow and your water gets turned off, and all of a sudden you're prone to being thrown out of your home. Housing insecurity is an increasing problem in Shreveport. According to Oshner, from a study from last year, 53% of residents have cited homelessness and housing and affordability as one of their community's biggest issues. 32% of children in Shreveport live beneath the poverty line, which is greater than the state and national averages. The state average is 25%. And 46% of renters in Shreveport spend over 50% of their income on housing, which is a surprising number to me. I can imagine, having to spend 50%, of my income on just to have a roof over my head. Shreveport has responded to this issue mainly through criminalizing homelessness. This ordinance is a bad example of this, a very egregious example in that it has been used to target squatters, especially in Highland, where the city government and the Caddo Commission have had several members publicly accuse squatters, for example, of a arson spree. But what Shreveport really needs is a housing guarantee and not criminalization. According to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, multiple studies have shown that housing guarantees and housing first policies actually save money and reduce costs compared to criminalization. We spend less money on prisons, we spend less money on jails, we spend less money on medical services. Up in Eugene, Oregon, there have been very successful policies along these lines. For example, a housing first policy creating small but livable and dignified forms of housing units known as Conestoga huts. These have given homeless people in Eugene a dignified place to live, a place where they can have a solar panel that can charge their phone, a place where they can have a roof over their head at night, where their things won't be stolen from them.
Mr. Black, your time has expired. Is it something that you want to leave with the city attorney's office or for the council members to review?
Can I just say one last thing?
Yes.
I really just want to urge the city council to repeal that ordinance and to consider more proactive approaches to homelessness and to housing precarity in the city. And I'd be happy to work however I can with my counselor or anyone else on the council who'd be interested in that. Thank y'all.
Thank you, Mr. Black.
Thank you, sir.
Sarah DeVee. No? Okay. Dave Little. Okay, that concludes public comments, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
We have no executive appointments to consider tomorrow. There are no items under consent agenda for introduction. Mr. Dark, you ready?
Well, I think we're going to get there. We're not going to read all 23 of those budget ordinances today, so that'll help somewhat.
All right,
Sir?
let's roll with it.
Okay, we're gonna do our best.
Okay.
Ordinances on final passage tomorrow that require only one. First one is 107. This authorizes the mayor to execute a lease agreement with the VOA of Northwest Louisiana relative to leasing some of the space in the Sportran complex. That's been postponed for advertising, but will be available to be adopted tomorrow. 109 is the endorsing of the Shreveport REO LLC relative to the restoration tax abatement. This one has a public hearing tomorrow. Just reminding you, this is one that's the standard. It's a renewal of restoration tax abatements we already have. I think it will cost us about $46,000 in taxes for 5 years. 111 is the Municipal Water Pollution Prevention Report. I believe you were provided a copy last time. Essentially, it's simply something we turn in every year to the state that says this is how we operate the plants and what issues we might have had with them at some point during that time. 112 authorizes the mayor to do a CEA between the city and community caregivers. I believe this was for the Chicken and Blues Festival, which has already happened. 113 is a rejection of bids for 2 mixed flow pumps for the tunnel at the wastewater treatment plant. That is one where I believe they determined after they opened the bids that they had an error in the bid documents, needed to re-advertise. 114 rejects the bids for Shreveport riverfront drainage improvements. SPAR got bids that were over their estimate, and they want to try again and see if they can get it down inside the budget. 115, 16, and 17 are requests to connect to the water and sewer system. 115 is on Tanner Road in Councilman Bowman's district, and 116 and 17 are at the south end of Linwood in Councilmember Butcher's district. 118 recognizes October 2025 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month. 119 recognizes October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month and recognizes Project Celebration for the work that they do to assist victims of domestic violence. And let's see, 120 recognizes Victor Green for years of public service, and I believe that's all under second reading.
Okay. Any questions? Chief Reese, tomorrow we'll have a moment of silence for Victor Green for his service to Shreveport Fire Department. Mr. Dark, would you proceed with introductions of resolutions not to be adopted prior to October 28th, 2025?
I'm going to have to be careful here because I did not have Mr. Green's resolution in there, so I have the wrong number on all my notes. So,
that's okay.
Well, if I get in trouble, y'all please tell me. 121 authorizes the CEA between the city and the State Facility Planning and Control for a grant that we got from Capital Outlay last year for $4.925 million relative to improvements out at the airport. 122 is a CEA we're doing between the city and the Housing Authority. They're going to do an expansion of Bayou Grand. There are 2 streets in that area that need some work, I believe Christian and Shumpert. In effect, we're going to contribute to their work so they can do it all with one contractor, but that's just some work that'll be done as part of that construction. 123 and 4 are resolutions for cooperative endeavor agreements with the state and the Treasury Department. The first one is $600,000 to replace the carbon feed equipment at the Amos Water Treatment Plant, and the other one is $100,000 that is to be split, I believe, between projects in the MLK area and in West Shreveport. 125 is a franchise agreement with Hunt Communications, Hunt Telecommunications. This is one where we've had an agreement with these folks over the years. They were acquired by somebody. Now they're trying to go back and do it in their own name. So all we're doing is providing the standard telecommunications franchise that we've used for almost 20 years now. 127 is the one that we talked about earlier that the gentleman presented on, the franchise agreement with Delta North Louisiana Gas Company. 128, let's see, 128 authorizes.
You off.
Okay, sorry. We're 127. 127 authorizes the acceptance of a 2-year, $400,000 grant from Bloomberg Philanthropies for construction of modular housing in the city of Shreveport. This is one we've been working on for a while. It started out as a container project and ended up being something we'll be able to actually build. We'll be working through community development with Providence House to get this done. 128 is the right-of-way agreement with Red River Express. Just to be clear, they're, as Councilman Butcher noted, this simply lets them get on the property to survey it before there's any acquisition. There have to be appraisals done, and the only thing it really does is give them the right to acquire subject to appraisal at some point during the process.
Mr. Dark, on 125, on the telecommunications franchise agreement, what type of telecommunications did they provide for the city?
You know, I don't know. I'm hoping Marcus might.
Attorney Edwards.
Unfortunately, this is a nebulous concept called dark fiber. So it's a fiber optic cable that's in the right-of-way that they call dark fiber because in theory, when they put it in, there's not a use for it. I believe the business model is that once the dark fiber is in, at certain instances, they grant licenses to other clients to use the fiber optic cable. But that's a technical term, dark fiber, and that is the fiber optic cable that is in our right-of-way.
That's a dark
Thank you.
statement. I have some questions. On 127, for the modular housing, which I'm glad about the construction, will those be starting off in Moortown and Holland? Where will the housing be?
You want to come up and, between you and Marcus, y'all ought to be able to handle that one.
Good afternoon. This modular housing is actually going to be for homelessness. So what Providence House will do is deconstruct a warehouse that they have, construct new housing for homeless families, and they'll be able to double the number of people that they currently serve. The historic building that they're in is really almost past its useful life. And instead of serving 80 people, they'll be able to serve about 160 people. And if this modular housing concept is successful, it's something that can be replicated throughout other communities as general housing. So this is not modular housing for individuals. This is for homeless families.
So it will be at the Providence House?
So Providence House has a 10,000 square foot warehouse that will come down. And so this new construction will be on the property where that warehouse is existing.
Where's the warehouse?
Right behind 814 Cotton. It fronts Common.
Big green building.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's right next to Shrek.
Okay, right behind the old fire station.
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Madam
So
Chair.
it's the 400,000 would be the dollars used to construct that? Will additional funds need to be?
Oh, definitely additional funds will be needed. It's about a $3 million project,
So how is the additional funding obtained?
It's going to be through fundraising. Providence House will enter into a cooperative endeavor agreement. Providence House will be responsible for raising the additional money. And then they do have some money that they can already allocate towards this project. If they don't do something really soon, that historic building that was built in 1944, you'll lose about 80 beds just because that building's falling apart.
Councilman Butcher.
Just real quick, I like the concept of this. I've been following something in Knoxville, Tennessee called Heroes Hill.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that project before?
I have.
I talked to Ms. Regal the other day about some land at the old Veterans Park, where the old Veterans Park used to be at the foot of the VA hospital.
Sure.
I would like for us to, I'd like to meet with you and maybe Ms. Regal and the administration, because I think, and Councilman Brooks, since that's his district, I think that this might be a pilot program that we might be able to use in that area as well. And the way that I see it is more private donations. That's the way they've done it in Knoxville. In fact, I think it's the mayor's kind of pet project up there. So if you know about it, I've been looking into it, I'd suggest anybody look it up, but I think that would be a great place to do something very similar to this right next to the VA hospital.
And that's what's really happening all across the country. We were able to see a project very similar to this in Atlanta. And so Atlanta used shipping containers, and they were able to construct brand-new communities. And they later learned that shipping containers were not the right kind of form to use for sustainable housing. And so gave us the opportunity to kind of re-vet the plan and use what we call bricks and sticks. But it will take public-private partnerships to get this done. But if we do it right, it's a way to fill the void for the need for affordable housing.
Well, we've got the land. We're not using the Veterans Park, and it's a great location. It's got road access to it. I think that this is something that we need to really. I think it's going to require a nonprofit for somebody to take it over, but Providence House may be that nonprofit that could help us with it. So
Sure.
I'd love to talk more about that, but this is exciting to me. I'd like to see a schematic of how this is going to look in the middle of our historic downtown, just because I'd like to see it.
Sure.
But I think it's a great idea.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay. Mr. Dart, would you proceed with introduction of ordinances not to be adopted prior to October 28, 2025?
Ordinance 97A is a redo of the entertainment district TIF. As it turns out, when Mr. Busada looked at it, there was a slight error in the advertising that was done when it was passed the last time. And out of an abundance of caution, we're asking you to rerun it through so it's properly advertised, and so there's no question whatever down the road if anything were to come up.
Please let them know that is not on our part.
No.
Let me say that for the record. That is not on the city's part. Just for the record, we didn't make that mistake.
What's that?
Of not, yes, on 97A.
And again, this one, because of the way it's working, it will have to have a second public hearing on next council.
Will that be October 28th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So we're going to look in the paper and make sure that they published it correctly?
I suspect we will.
Okay, thank you, sir.
104, 5, and 6 are capital budget amendments. 104 is an amendment that we've gotten almost $160,000 from the state for the stadium, Independence Stadium. This will appropriate those funds. 105 appropriates $125,000 that we've gotten for a project that's championed by State Senator Thomas Presley. Try to do some improvements in the general area of Betty Virginia Park and Bayou Pier. 106 amends the capital budget. We are almost to the point of bidding the police headquarters building. We've gotten a cost estimate from the architect based on some very detailed work that they had done. We believe that this amendment, which incorporates some additional bond interest, will give us the funding necessary to accept the low bid we think we'll get and to actually move forward with the contract. This is bond interest that you've already earned over the last several years that's going to be funding that. 107 amends the MPC budget. The only thing they're trying to do there is they have a vacancy they want to fill with a temp for the rest of the year, and temps get paid out of a different line category than salaried employees do, so they're asking to move that fund for that. 108 is a land swap, where we're actually getting a little more land than we're giving away, but what it will do is give us unfettered access to some property that water and sewer uses that we've been essentially going through someone else's property to get to. This is something that was actually requested by the adjacent homeowner in order to clear some title so they could sell it. 109 amends the code relative to Department of Community Development to reflect the current organizational structure, to change the bureau concept of divisions. It's something that Bernie and her staff recommended. 110 is one that's had some discussion in the media. It amends the UDC relative to minimum off-street vehicular parking requirements. As best I can tell, removes most of the requirements that currently exist, allows for certain exemptions where it's particularly required. Mr. Clark, if you've got any additional you want to add there, feel free. I know this is something you've been working on personally for a while.
Thank you, Mr. Dart. Madam Chair and the council, we have been working on this for quite a few years. What this does in actuality is that it removes the minimal requirements for parking in all of the commercial areas. And one of the examples that we've used, when the UDC was enacted, prior to that, we had district hours. B1, B2, B3, and B4. And with the UDC, it eliminated all district hours. So anything in the city of Shreveport now can operate 24 hours a day unless it's a special use. I was in total disagreement with the consultants about doing that, but I have found out later that we've had no complaints or no violations of persons causing noise and havoc late at night. And that's the same thing with the minimal requirements. If you ride around the city, there are shopping centers that are basically empty, Walmarts, Home Depots, Lowe's, and these operations have 100 more parking spaces than are necessary. We had an example of such a facility with the Walmart in Blanchard. It is not in the city of Blanchard, it's actually in the unincorporated area. And we approved that with reduced parking in order for them to put in more landscaping and eliminate all of that sea of concrete that keeps the water flowing when we have excess range. We've had some cities that we've studied that have had this and they have worked out extremely well. But as always, with these code text amendments, if something happens, we can always amend it, but we don't think anything is going to happen.
Yes, sir. Any questions? Thank you.
The next two items are zoning cases. 111 is case 2597C. This is property near the intersection of Kingston Road and Francis Drive. There's an existing business there that wants to be able to put a storage facility on that site. There was no neighborhood opposition. There was an MPC unanimous approval. Makes me feel really old because when I was a kid, that was a vacant lot and we played baseball there. But that's what he's got now. 112 is zoning case 25105C. This is the proposal for the gas station essentially at Kings Highway and Barrett. Please understand, this one is with you in the same general way that several others have been with you. The legislation is a recommendation to deny. So in 2 weeks, when you have the opportunity to vote, if you vote with Councilmember Brooks, you would be voting yes to deny. There's a whole stack of budget amendments. We won't talk about any of them today, 113 to 136. Just to remind you, though, kind of the schedule we have. Tomorrow, I will be doing a very brief budget overview. You all have a public hearing at the Monday meeting, first meeting in November, and then later that week, you have your two-day budget review sessions.
This is number 113 through 136.
Yes. And these will be up for most likely passage on December 9th. But you will get an opportunity to hear a great deal about these in the month of November. There's no reason to go through them one by one today.
Okay. Would you proceed with ordinances on second reading and final passage?
We've got it more painless than you thought it was going to be. 99 and 100 are advertising, authorizing purchasing agent to advertise for sealed bids. 99 is for Old Fire Station 14 on Greenwood Road. 100 is for the property at 401 Texas. Both of those have established appraisal values, $130,000 for one and $850 for the other. And should we get a bid that equals that or is in excess of it, we will be back to you to ask for approval to actually make the sales. 101 is an amendment to the capital budget. This is one Councilman Bowman will be happy to hear. We're ready to do the bond issue project on Pines Road, this $2.7 million. We are taking that money from the Hirsch Coliseum project, which isn't ready to go forward. We had actually put money in it, hoping to get some capital outlay money that doesn't appear to be forthcoming. We can replace that later, but this will let us go ahead, and we're actually out for bids on that project right now. 102 is an emergency, declaring an emergency in connection with the replacement of some variable frequency drives at the North Regional Plant. I think it's almost $900,000. There's 7 of those that they're replacing all at once. And 103 is ordinance. 103 is a zoning case 2581C, approving zoning on Fern near Business Park Drive. This is actually, I believe, for a 38-unit townhome development for which there was no opposition and MPC approved unanimously. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
Any questions from the council? Y'all gonna have some. Madam Clerk, is there any other table legislation to be removed from the table today?
No, ma'am.
We have no property standards or ABO appeals to consider today. We have no MPC or ZBA appeals to consider tomorrow. Are there any other appeals, Madam Clerk?
No, ma'am.
Are there any reports from officers, boards, and committees? What time is public safety meeting tomorrow, Mr. Brooks? 1:30, public safety meeting on tomorrow. Madam Clerk, is there a clerk's report?
No, ma'am.
Executive session, there is none. If there is nothing else, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Well, it was long enough. Thank you. Thank you.